I'm your host. There we go. I'm your host, Andres Ruiz, and I have a very special guest here. I've known this young lady here, I'm going to call you young lady, for quite some time now. And all the stuff that she does, I mean, she does everything for real. Like she is, and what I love about it is that she's doing it for the community, which is really powerful to see, especially a young woman like yourself. Stephanie Bermudez is with us today, and she is the founder and CEO of Startup Unidos, which I've had the privilege of seeing all the amazing work that they're doing. And she's also the owner of Still Good, which I've also just recently had the privilege of checking out what she's doing. And so I'm just really blessed to have you here, Stephanie. How are you feeling today? Welcome to the show.
Feeling pretty good, brother. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So and just to get things started, I always like to ask a question to my guest to kind of like talk a little bit about themselves. I think it's always good to talk good about one another, but I want you to tell me, like, if I were to ask you, like, what would you say is like your superpower, like something that you feel that you are really good at? I always like to have the guests just talk a little bit about themselves. So let's start there. What would you say is your superpower? Would you say is something that you're good at?
Something that I'm naturally good at is connecting people. That's not an ability that everybody has, but I've even at some time been called like the Pied Piper.
Okay.
I have a natural ability of attracting people, like through promotion or marketing or community building and bridging relationships.
Oh yeah, I can definitely agree with you 100% on that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're definitely a connector. And I every time that I meet somebody new, some way, somehow, like your name comes into play, like, oh, you know her too. Oh yeah, me too. So you're well known in the community, and that's really powerful to have, those relationships, that building that community and building those connections are extremely powerful in regards to kind of like the work that we do. So kind of to get things started, before you were doing all this, like Startup Unidos, being an owner of Still Good, tell us a little bit about, where, kind of like where you came from, where you were, and just talk to us a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
Sure. So I'm a native of Nogales. I'm a borderlander. I'm not a Tucsonan, but I have spent half of my life here in Tucson, and certainly my career was developed here. And I ran with the speed of the development of downtown. So like my past is really connected around the inspiration and energy of the new development in downtown Tucson. So I'm talking about 2007 to 2015. And I was inspired by the ability of being able to rebuild the town. I feel like my background is having the opportunity of having Tucson like a playground to experiment with community. I was given opportunities through organizations like Tucson Young Professionals, like early on at the same time while there was new investment in downtown. And it gave me a creative playground to test community and opportunities, also like paid opportunities, and bringing people together and making connections and developing things that we're going to impact the city, right? Businesses, organizations, nonprofits. So before I took the leap of being my own thing, of, not taking a job or volunteering to build myself and like truly investing in not just starting an organization, but investing in myself, in being able and strong-minded and willing to lead an organization. I've only been doing that for 6 years.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And then you said something that was really powerful about the investing in yourself. Tell the audience like a little bit about how important it is to invest in oneself, like the importance of like you investing in you and how that has helped you. Like, tell us a little bit about that.
It goes hand in hand for me, honestly. I don't think that first as an employee, it went hand in hand for me, because my journey in the investing in myself came before I took the leap to be an entrepreneur. So where did my journey start? I feel like it started with a book. I feel like, well, I mean, it started within me, but then somebody gifted me a book at the time in which I needed it. And that
Okay.
was in 2012 that it happened for me, that I started my journey of just building up strength, to be a better person, to do away with the story in our head, with the barriers that we've created, with the relearning and the undoing. I'm still at it. I mean, I don't know now that there is an end game to that. And there's certainly a practice, and it's been a practice of high and low. At some times I feel like, wow, I've reached another level of enlightenment, of higher growth, of higher being, but then also plummeted really hard. And understanding that those plummets are all part of also that spiritual growth, and part of that learning. And those cycles have been wild, and I don't know that they get any easier, but they're always worth it. And how that connects to business is in the clarity of your mind, in knowing that you are that what you are doing is at far more depth than just having to do it, or having to wake up, or not allowing, like, really, like what might seem like challenges to keep you from being able to do it. Like when you can conquer yourself, um when you can keep yourself, like defend yourself from, let's say, resisting a hamburger, or waking up and going to the gym, or or doing things like that, like showing up basically for yourself. In the same, you can show up for other things more fluently, and other people begin to also um I guess it's a form of respect, but they also see that as a model. So it's inspirational,
Love
you
it.
know, for others to see the determination. Oftentimes people don't even know what I do on this, because I do so much, and it's hard to describe all the things, because I have my hands in so many pots. But I think what impresses individuals the most is just that I keep going.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, and I admire you as well for that, like that persistence. And then I love something that you said that was really powerful, of you being that model. Like, and you're being humble here, like, because you were saying, not that people look up to you, but more like you're modeling. But really, people do look up to you, because you are a good role model of like that persistence and that keep going and just moving forward. And even if you have those downfalls or those challenges that come across, you still keep moving forward. And that's what I see I've seen you grow over the years so much, just as a leader, as a mother, as a community leader. You do so much for so many people, which is really powerful, and it's really admired and appreciated from myself. And I know it's appreciated from a lot of people, I can honestly say that. So,
Thank
you know,
you.
and I felt you right now. You felt that, like, I'm glad you're taking that in, because you really deserve that. And it's something that I think is important, that we also have people, when they tell us something, like, we take it in and appreciate that, because it's important that we see our greatness. Like, you see your greatness and I see your greatness. And I love how you talked about the books and all that, that you read. So, like, I want to ask you, like, what was that book? But do you by any chance remember the book? I'm just
Oh
curious.
yeah. It was the Four Agreements. And
Oh,
then the one that followed was Untethered Soul, which,
ooh, yeah.
yeah. And I mean, how is your life not going to change after that? And then I just got stuck. And then yes, that one. And then I just kept going, like, because I was feeling so good by having tools and
Mm,
being able to undo the story. And back to the story, the Four Agreements is all about that story, right? And the programming and the links that are connected to our programming, and finding forgiveness in that, and acceptance, and leading. And it was good. Another one that I think really changed me also was the one with Napoleon Hill,
yeah.
the
Think and Grow
devil,
Rich.
what
Oh,
is it called? Unwitting the Devil.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
That
I
book
read that one.
that book was really powerful,
Mhm.
in that it talks about the story, but it talks about the bad part, the dark part. It
Mhm.
focuses a lot on where that's coming from, and where that energy, and how to control that. And it was a book that was forbidden from being published, and the family released it in 2012. So at that year of my growth, it was released, and I feel like, it was also a very important time, culturally, based on the Mayan calendar. So like, I don't know, I just felt like it was certainly a rebirth time for me.
Mhm.
And I'm grateful for it. Incredibly grateful for the opportunity to be able to unsee.
Yeah, yeah, that's so powerful to hear that, and just to hear you talk about how, it was almost like the perfect timing for you to read those books and for you to get going. So tell us, like, after that, like, you went through all this stuff, and then, what inspired you to start this Startup Unidos organization? What was the inspiration behind that?
Wow. With, I guess, like this growth, you become clear on what you want by knowing what you don't want in some senses. So
Yeah.
um again, I mean, it was a matter of timing. I think that the economy really lent itself for, and I was at the front lines of kind of like innovation, and I created an opportunity for myself, Andres, because I've been on this path of being unemployable my whole life. Like,
Mm.
I'm too much for a box, for the cube,
Right.
for the boss, right? I need my own thing. And um I created it, right? I tried a lot of things, and they were not the fit that I was looking for. So I molded something to my own fit.
Love it.
A box.
So what would you say was like your, like, when you started this? Because I know we all go through this, but like when you started this amazing organization, what would you say were some of the challenges that you faced when you got started, or even like during the middle and just right now? What would you say have been the biggest challenges?
Personal, or like with the business, or at what
Um,
angle?
I
There's
would
been
say with the
multi-layered.
business, hey, with the business, hey, because I know, shoot, I know when like business and personal,
Yeah.
they go hand in hand, because I know the personal can trickle into the business. But tell us, like, what would you say are the challenges that you feel like were like that you face, or that you still face to this day? I mean, because we also have challenges, but tell us a little bit about that.
Um, I think the biggest challenges that I have had in my relationship building is my relationship with like money, with the relationship with business, and like and growing.
Yeah.
There is still a lot of growth opportunity in that space, and just like conversations with ideas or stories that we build around money and people with money, and what it means to have money.
Mhm.
But then also like my own personal ability of getting money, what I'm worth, what I could charge, what um things like that, like what I tell myself that my levels of growth opportunity in financial structures are, and then how that bleeds over to my idea of people who have money. And
Mhm.
then also just a lot of back to this undoing of like how I grew up around money, and the conversation was very much so in lack, very much so critical of there being money, or it was just it's a lot to go through and process through, that I'm still growing, and areas that I'm continuously seeking out to be stronger in, because I even sense like a paralysis when it comes to finances, where like literally like I freeze. I don't know. I suddenly, and it's interesting because I see this as a business consultant. I see this in the technology space, like with topics that I'm really comfortable in when I'm approaching individuals in which they're really comfortable. And I always try to support them with their mindset for that reason, because my mindset around finances is like in need.
Yeah.
Like there's so much there that I want to improve upon. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think we're all a work in progress, and I think money is definitely a big challenge that we all have faced. Like, I know for myself personally, that's something that I struggle with, and to this day, I still struggle with it. And I've learned from some of people who I know personally that are, are well financially, they're doing really well. And they're teaching me a lot of like some of the gaps that I have in my life, where there's still like these beliefs of rich people or, being humble and all these things. So that's a very powerful topic to bring up. So I thank you
Mhm.
for, being willing to share that with us. And just sharing, hey, you're human. We all deal with challenges, So
Yeah.
that's what I appreciate about you, is that you're so open and just vulnerable enough to like share this information with us. And so that everybody can see that we all deal with the same stuff. Like, just because we're doing more, or we have more money, or we still have struggles,
Mm.
The beauty about these episodes is that we hear people that are doing amazing things but still have challenges themselves. So I appreciate that about you. But tell us a little bit about like what inspired you to start this other company that I was able to go check it out. And
Thank
I
you
don't know,
for that.
and then you're the owner of this organization called Still Good. Tell us about like what inspired you about that, and how that has been going for you, like that experience for you.
Okay. I mean, money. Money inspired me. When I started Startup Unidos, traditionally the type of impact work that I'm doing has been funded by governments and universities for 50 years.
Wow.
And that work has not been successful at working with the communities in which I'm serving.
Mhm.
So I had to uh, not continue the insanity, right? And like figure out another way that I could fund these programs and move at the speed of need or the speed of possibility, without being dependent, without being grant dependent, without depending on the slow process, the bureaucratic process that unfortunately is what government and universities are, weighed down on, anchored down on, unfortunately, sometimes on being able to serve communities at the speed in which it's needed. So my unique value proposition was to fund it myself. So I am the founder of Startup Unidos, but through Still Good, I am becoming the funder of Startup Unidos. Already, we've already supported Startup Unidos programming through Still Good,
Mhm.
but Still Good is the bridge. So Startup Unidos is the impact, and then Still Good is the wallet, right? It's the money bag. That doesn't mean that we are going to move away from working with governments and universities. In fact, we are a very strong partner for both of those institutions, because we're able to move at the speed, and because we're able to sustain over time. We're going to continue to work with them. I just don't want to be dependent, because the need is so great, and we have something really unique and important to deliver. And I want to be able to do it. So one thing that is certain is that raw resources out there that we dispose of every day are going to be available, and that raw resource is going to increase. And what is the resource? It's trash.
Mm.
When I say trash, people think your trash bag. They think the bag in your bathroom. But the trash that I'm talking about is your electronic waste. It's your scrap metals. It's all of your textiles. It's the bag of donation that you drive around in your car with for 6 months. It's the thing you didn't throw away because you wish that it was good enough. You wish somebody would put a button on it, or fix the zipper, or cut the poop out, because and make it a half a shirt, or do whatever it is. Like I'm working in that space because a lot of us have a lot of that to give, and we can flip that for good. And in my case, I'm flipping it for startups.
Yeah.
So
I was like, damn, you talking about, are you in my house or what?
well, it was the process of lean innovation, the things that I show businesses, that allowed me to empathize with with you, and
So
know that you
good.
might have that little issue.
Oh my God, man, I'm in tears right now. That's so funny. Because I thought about the bag. I was like, wait, my wife got that bag for sure. I love it.
Yeah. We all have the bag, we all have the cajon, the drawer with all the cords of the things that we just might need it, or I don't quite know what to do with this, or I have
Mm.
a laptop with that I don't need anymore, but I have maybe data on it that I'm keeping it for. So, there's this type of service and work that we do out there, and I'm just being really donor centric. So I'm really excited about Still Good because it also allows me to show, as a facilitator, as an educator of entrepreneurship, that I can walk the walk, right?
Yeah.
Not just talk the talk.
Yeah.
And it's a great classroom for me as well, because it's keeping me fresh. It's throwing me into the challenges that small businesses are facing every day. And with Startup Unidos as a social venture company, I wasn't able to explore at the depth that I am through this like recycling company. So it's allowing me to live through experience and then turn around and offer business consultation with first on fresh experience of what it's like to be a small business. I really love it. I work all the time, 7 days a week, and I'm okay with that because of the books, because of my plan, because of the clarity, because of the gym, because of the food, because of surrounding myself with good, positive people.
Mm.
7 days doesn't feel like 7 days. It
Awesome.
doesn't.
Love it. That's awesome. And so for people that are interested in, being a part of Startup Unidos or helping Startup Unidos, and then also Still Good, how can people support you? What's your contact information where people can get involved? Tell us a little bit about how, what Startup Unidos is for, like for who, and then also Still Good, how they can help you.
For sure. So we focus on the Hispanic community all throughout Southern Arizona. We also, as of recently, even have been able to extend our services out to Maricopa County for Hispanic community that's bilingual, small business owners or nonprofit organizations, artists, all throughout Southern Arizona that are at any stage of development. I have an idea. I just started. I've started and I want to grow. I've grown and I want to sustain. I want to keep this thing going. I want to include technology, any level, any purpose. We support them with one-on-one technical assistance. We will work with you one-on-one to help you get started, resolve the issues. Not all the time is it, Startup Unidos who's supporting, but we're connected through a powerful network of individuals throughout our state who can support you dependent on where you're at and where your needs are. So Startup Unidos we're a small business service essentially for individuals who are looking for support to grow. Our programs are funded through the governor's office. They're state funded, and all our proprietary programs have been funded through our state's universities, including Arizona State University, University of Arizona. And we work really regularly with high schools and middle schools in helping them also begin to think about how to create an opportunity instead of take an opportunity. Small businesses are the #1 creator of jobs. So when I talk to somebody who has an idea, I'm looking at you as a future employer. I'm empowering you and I'm giving you the tools, the network, and the resources for you to go out and get it done. And I work with, like I said, communities who are bilingual. I offer all of our programs in Spanglish, and we've revamped all of our tools to make them easier for you to understand. We don't copy and paste nada. You're not going to hear me using examples from Silicon Valley, brother. I'm going to take people right here from the region, and I'm going to tell you about what's possible right here at home and how you can grow in our state, but then also how you can benefit from Sonora. So Startup Unidos doesn't stop at Arizona. We were planted in Sonora. I'm a dual citizen, and we're actively growing our services on that side and have equal experiences that I just shared on that side. So with Still Good, I started this project about a year ago with $1,050, and my goal was to be able to vet, prove, test if it was possible for me to fund startups through trash. So I'm a year in. Our company's operational. I started as a pop-up, and right now I have a brick and mortar location. You can come and support us. by purchasing some of our items. We've established really great relationships already with the city of Tucson, so you can donate items to us at City of Tucson Household Hazardous and Waste Collection events. What else? Let's see. You can shop with us. We pop up at the Tanque Verde Swap Meet on Friday nights and Saturday nights from 3 to 11. And what you'll find is waste that is unlike what you would imagine. Okay, so when I say waste, I'm talking about still good items like discount electronics that are fun, that will make sense for you to be more budget friendly, that will allow you to become more conscious about how you're consuming and where your trash ends up, all while supporting, you know, a business. So it's like this cycle. So whether you're in need of starting up or needing support in your business, or you're in need of electronics and you want to support us, we're creating a cycle of opportunity for you to connect with us. And I'm everywhere. So just look us up. Everywhere at Startup Unidos.
Awesome. Yeah, that was awesome. And then just one final question to close it out. For anybody out there that has been thinking about that nonprofit, that small business, they've been thinking about it for years, maybe decades. What piece of advice would you give those people who are on the fence of getting started?
It's a lot easier than you imagine, I promise you. We have stories and ideas and information that we've absorbed from others that is probably not true. The number one thing that most people tell me, it's like, that's it. Like, oh my God, I waited this long and it was that easy. It's probably not as time consuming as you imagine. It's probably not as expensive as you imagine. And now you have a friend who you can ask. I make myself really available, and I really do dedicate myself to getting to a point where you're going to continue. You're not going to feel like a number. I'm not going to overwhelm you. You know enough. Just do it. That's my advice. Just do it. Reach out and do it.
Yes.
Do it now. Do it today.
Hey, hold on, let me see. Oh. Do it now.
Do it now. Exactly.
Now, ahorita.
Just do it. Just do it.
Yeah,
It's not going to be that bad.
Like Shia LaBeouf said, do it.
Do it. That's right.
Awesome.
Just do it.
Just do it, man. Yeah, awesome. Well, Stephanie, thank you for being on the show. This was a lot of fun, very informative, and very inspiring. And like Stephanie said, man, it's not as crazy as we make it out to be in our heads. So, you know, go out there, do it. And if you want to get a hold of Stephanie, you know, she's everywhere, for real. She really is. Start a video, still good. And then, like she said, you know, you can see her at the swap meet from 3 to 11 on Friday and Saturday. And if you have any questions, you know, if you can't get a hold of her, let me know. And then I can, you know, give you her contact information. Actually, give your contact information. That would be great, just so they can have it.
For sure. So my shop, I have a shop where I'm there Saturday and Sunday mornings. Okay, so reach out. It's at 1251 South Tyndall Avenue, Suite 105. We're at 22nd and Park, and then at the Tanque Verde Swap Meet, and that's at Park and Ajo on Friday and Saturday nights. Okay, you can find us online everywhere. I'm on Instagram, stillgood.shop.gives, and then on Startup Unidos, at Startup Unidos everywhere. Okay. My email is sb@startupunidos, and you can have my cell phone number because everybody reaches out to me, 520-257-0661. I'm truly here to help, and I can help you in Pima County, Santa Cruz County, Yuma County, Cochise County, and there is no cost, no barrier. I promise you, you're going to get ahead. So reach out.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Yeah. Take her advice. Like, I mean, she's a great person. She'll definitely help you out. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. And we will be seeing you on the next episode of the Blueprint on How to Turn Goals into Achievement podcast. Have a great one. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, cool.